So Musk wants to build a robot army. I don't know, does that concern you?
Hell yeah!
All right. And last month, Tesla's quarterly profit plunged 31% year over year. I wonder why that is.
Because he's a Nazi!
I wonder if it's because of him going to the federal government with that chainsaw. I wonder if it's all the statements that he has made. You know, years and years ago, I bought an electric vehicle, and I was so proud of being able to say I drive around without polluting. Well, I am incredibly embarrassed today to drive a Tesla, and I know y'all are going to say, well, dump it, drive something else. But I've seen those bumper stickers, and I have that bumper sticker. Just the other day, I saw a new funny bumper sticker. It spelled out Toyota. We're so embarrassed to drive Teslas these days that we try to cover it up.
Swastikars!
So this is the company, and this is the man, and why would we want to pay him $1 trillion? We ought to say no. Investors, shareholders, say no to $1 trillion from us. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hell no! Hell no!
Hell no!
Diana Guerrero is fed up with Tesla's broken promises, and real harm is causing her neighborhood. An activist with Far East Austin Community Development Corporation, she's fighting for the accountability and support this community was promised when a giant corporation moved in next door. Bianca?
Hello. Good evening, everyone, to my neighbors, friends, and fellow community advocates. Thank you for being here. Though we stand in downtown Austin, the community whose story we must elevate is my community. Hornsby Bend, Austin's colony, the heart of Far East Austin. We're not just a map point. It's where our families live, where we raise our children, and where we build our lives. And it's here that we stand together fighting for the dignity, equity, and resources that every resident deserves. The story of this area is critical and one that needs to be shared. It's a story of resilience, but also a story of being overlooked. Now, we are the neighbor to one of the world's largest, fastest growing companies, Tesla Gigafactory. This massive industrial presence was pitched as an engine of opportunity. And while growth is inevitable, the key question we must continually ask is who benefits and at whose expense? For too many of us, the burdens have outweighed the benefits. What we're experiencing here is not a series of unfortunate accidents or simple oversights. It must be called by its proper name: environmental racism. Consider the stark water inequality that defines it. Tesla's estimated to use hundreds of millions of gallons of water per year from Austin's water system for its factory operations. Meanwhile, neighbors in Austin Colony have historically struggled for adequate, affordable water access. We get the pollution, and the corporation gets clean water supply. We refuse to accept this burden any longer. In 2025, it's an outrage that thousands of our neighbors right here are struggling with water that corrodes our pipes, irritates our skin, and forces us to spend hundreds of dollars a month on bills that dwarf those of our neighboring communities. When we look at the private utility rates, base charges that can be 4 times higher than Austin water, and the persistent issues of discoloration and extreme hardness, we know this is a fight for economic justice and public health. The irony is sharp. A major corporation was granted an expedited release of Austin's municipal water, while our residents fight tooth and nail for basic supply. But we're fighting. We've organized, we've gathered petitions, and we're working to challenge these excessive rates and demand connection to safe, affordable public water. The struggle is the core of our right to a livable community. We must push Travis County and the Public Utility Commission to listen to the people, not just the profits of a private utility. We will not stop until every tap delivers clean, affordable water. Beyond the water, we must hold the line on the promise of infrastructure. The presence of Giga Texas with its thousands of daily vehicles has placed an immense strain on our local roads. We were promised the critical extension of Harold Green Road, now called Tesla Road, to improve access and safety for our neighborhoods. We know the bond was approved by voters in 2017 and plans have been filed, but talk is cheap. We need shovels in the ground. We also need to ensure that the designated community investment funds, the money set aside as part of tax agreements, actually reach the residents who bore the brunt of this development. Education support is vital, but so is direct investments in the basic needs of the local communities immediately surrounding the factories, infrastructure, housing support, and direct quality of life improvements. We're not here to stop progress, but to demand responsible progress. We're asking for two things: accountability from Tesla and the profits that they make from this land, and commitment from our county and city leaders to prioritize the health and well-being of long-term residents of Austin's Colony and Far East Austin. Every signature, every voice, every call to a commissioner moves the needle. Our unity is our leverage. Let us continue to collaborate with the Far East Austin CDC and neighborhood associations. We stand firm in the knowledge that our future will be built on the strength of our collective voices.
Bianca, thank you for sharing your story and know that we all stand with you.
Elon Musk has got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! Elon Musk has got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! Elon Musk has got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! Elon Musk has got to go!
It's so amazing to me how much Bianca's story sounds so much like my friends and family in Houston. How much they have in common and what the struggle is fighting against billionaires and their refineries or their gigafactories or what have you. And the one thing they seem to have in common is that they're willing to put our families and our homes and our communities at risk for their bottom line, for their trillion-dollar bottom line, and we have to stand together on those issues. Thank you. Our next speaker, Amanda Marzullo, is a civil rights attorney, an expert on the county's property tax rebate deal with Tesla. She is a candidate for the Travis County Commissioner's Court, and I would like to welcome Amanda to the stage.
Thank you. As you just heard, my name is Amanda Marzullo. I'm a civil rights attorney and a candidate for Travis County Commissioner right here in Precinct 2. I have spent my career holding the government accountable when it fails to serve the public. And I couldn't put it any better than Bianca did when she said that our unity is our leverage. And the fight against Tesla and Elon Musk needs to start here at home. When Tesla came to town, our local officials, Democrats included, voted to give Elon Musk one of the largest corporate tax breaks in county history. They said it was an investment in our future. But since the contract has been approved, it's been clear that Tesla has taken far more from us and our neighbors than it has ever given. There have been multiple workers' deaths, safety violations, discrimination complaints, and environmental hazards for our neighbors. And through all of that, our county leaders have taken no action to withhold the rebate formally, to cancel the contract, or even update us on its status. Let's be honest, if a small business in Travis County had that record, the county would have terminated the agreement yesterday. But when a billionaire with political influence does, that rule suddenly bends. That's not economic development. That's a betrayal of public trust. I've said this before and I'll say it again. Democratic elected officials in Travis County should not be voting to give tax breaks to unaccountable and corrupt billionaires. You cannot claim to stand with working families and then stabilize a corporation that endangers its workers. You cannot campaign on justice and then ignore its abuse. I know firsthand that government has the power to choose accountability. When I led a county justice office, we used that power to protect people, not corporations. Travis County can do the same. The Commissioner's Court can revisit this contract, it can withhold tax rebates, and most importantly, it can tell us what the hell is going on. Equal justice means no one is above the law, not Elon Musk, not Tesla, and not the officials who voted to shield them from scrutiny. If you take public money, you owe the public the truth. You owe workers safety, you owe this community transparency. Tomorrow, Tesla shareholders will need to celebrate record profits. But today, we're here to remind them and our local officials that the measure of success in this county isn't corporate earnings, it's fairness, dignity, and accountability. If our leaders won't act, our only recourse is at the ballot box. Because justice is not negotiable and our values should not be for sale. So I urge you to remember this in the primary on March 3rd. Thank you.
Thank you, Amanda. Okay, our next speaker, Andrea. Andrea's here. All right, Andrea has over 2 decades of advocacy and service to Texas's most vulnerable communities. She's a coordinator for both Texas Takedown Austin and FAFO 512.
Woo! Oh my goodness. Good afternoon. I'm Andrea. I'm with FAFO 512 and Tesla Takedown Austin. I'm so proud to be sitting here in front of this beautiful coalition of people that are all here to boo Elon.
Yeah!
So, a little bit about us. We began with crowds of strangers, impromptu, yet ununited, gathering outside of Tesla showrooms, exercising our First Amendment rights to protest an ever-growing list of injustices. Picture it. Hastily constructed homemade signs doubling as shade in the sun, Chapel Roan playing on a Bluetooth speaker,
Woo!
water, sunscreen, snacks shared like precious commodities, Alex Jones sweating, red-faced,
Boo!
ballots on the back of a Cybertruck ranting into a microphone.
Boo!
He stumbled and almost busted his ass.
Yeah!
It's a true story. There was a bubble maker machine just spinning hope into the air while the world just spun further into chaos. Every day, another Doge headline, another wave of misinformation, another culture war, and each week, somehow worse than the last. Elon's wildly inaccurate and inflated claims. Shareholders, does that sound familiar? From illegal voting to fraudulent Social Security payments were used to galvanize enablers and pave the way for unbridled exploitation of our checks and our balances.
Boo!
Elon only wins when he stacks the deck or buys it. It's true. He even cheats at video games.
Boo!
Yes, even in Diablo and Path of Exile 2, he pays to win. He purchased boosted accounts to LARP as a real gamer. And yet we showed up. Flash Flood, Shine, braving counter-protesting conservative content creators and weapon-brandishing Sons of Anarchy cosplayers, we were there. And we have jobs. We have families. We would have rather gone to Bolden Creek for brunch. We would have rather slept in. But Austin became ground zero against unchecked corporate power at the behest of a billionaire. And a billionaire who tweets like a 13-year-old boy in a Call of Duty lobby. By showing up, we reminded each other that resistance can be radiant, contagious even. And this was evident with each passing supportive honk, each thumbs up, each smile, and each wave from our community. And from those sidewalks, we grew. From protest to movement, from despair to determination, from strangers to partners, transforming our outrage into action. Now, we testified before the Travis County Commissioner's Court to cancel Tesla's shameless and predatory tax rebate. It's a sweetheart deal. We've rolled up our sleeves to debadge vehicles at the request of individuals experiencing Tesla regret syndrome. We've partnered with organizations like 5051 who have answered the call for mutual aid to the community most affected by the Gigafactory.
Yeah.
We've pushed back against robo-taxis, all hype, no LiDAR, no accountability.
Get him.
And we've demonstrated how a Tesla in full self-driving mode drove right past a school bus with its stop lights extended, flashing. It obliterated child-sized mannequins, pulled across the street as if to catch the bus. We kept one of those 6 or 7 child mannequins dismembered, and we've named him Timmy.
Timmy!
And we've amplified the voices of those hurt by billionaires and their enablers. I'm so proud of every single person here.
Woo!
They know what they fear the most. They fear organized people and solidarity. They fear that regular folks will see through the PR, the branding, the spectacle, and demand accountability. The people, united in purpose, armed only with truth and courage. This is power. Now, we've heard the stories from California. We've heard it from Memphis, Brownsville, Nevada, Buffalo. Communities like our own Far East Austin neighbors promised roads, investments, prosperity, left with broken promises, pollution, and precarity, and pain. That's not innovation. That's exploitation. We heed the warnings of those communities, and we see the same model rolling out in Texas, and we say no.
No.
We say no.
No.
Not in Austin, not in Travis County, and not on our watch.
Hell no.
We're here to reclaim democracy from corporate capture, to say our future belongs not to ketamine-fueled crypto bros or CEOs, but to us. To Tesla, we say we found the waste, the fraud, and the abuse. Can you please doge your doge bag? So let's keep showing up. Let's keep proving that real power doesn't come from stock prices, inflated stock prices. It comes from people who refuse to give up on each other. Because when we fight for each other, we win. And when we win, we build a future worthy of the communities that we love.
Woo! Ow, 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 ow!
Leading this pushback against corporate greed, particularly greed from the most greedy human I think we've ever seen. Our next speaker, Melody Tremallo, is a local trans activist and vice president of Hands Off Central Texas.
Melody!
She knows firsthand the damage much hostility to trans American siblings of ours has caused, and we welcome her to this podium.
Melody!
Howdy folks, my name is Melody Tremallo. I am the VP of Hands Off Central Texas, and I am an out and proud trans woman.
Hell yeah!
When I got involved with the movement, it was because of the relentless attacks on my community, the trans community. I knew that I would wallow in despair if I sat back and did nothing. So, my efforts blossomed as I tried something, and I suddenly found myself as the number 2 of Hands Off Central Texas. With the great folks that joined this coalition, I testified against the anti-trans legislation in the Capitol behind me. I am sad to say that a lot of the worst bills managed to pass, but my efforts were not wasted. I connected with a lot of other organizations, like the ACLU of Texas, Quality Texas, and the Trans Education Network of Texas. And I made relationships with the peoples of those orgs, people that were just as passionate to defend my community as I was. And I wasn't the only one that found themselves in the hearings for the first time. All of that to say that I was not alone in this fight, and neither are you. Even when my first priority is my trans and queer family, I still find time to raise my fist in solidarity with all of y'all, with all of your families. Because our battles are a lot more connected than folks realize. The issues might seem different on the surface, but they share the same roots. Elon Musk is a despicable man. I cannot put that in nicer words. We all know about his dismantling of large portions of the US government under Doge, and his disregard for America when he threw out multiple Nazi salutes during Trump's inauguration. I don't think a lot of folks know about his views on trans people. He says that he absolutely supports trans, but everything about his statements say otherwise. To him, cis is a heterophobic word, his word, not mine. Some folks believe that simply because he said it. The words cis and trans are commonly used in the chemistry field, simply because they are of Latin origin, and they mean this side of and the other side of, respectively. They are descriptive, not pejorative. And the only reason he thinks that cis is a hateful word is because he uses trans in the same way. Musk has said that gender-affirming surgeries are deeply wrong and harmful to mental health. And that is an assessment that is in direct conflict with people that have spent years of their lives and their reputation of learning medicine and mental health. People that conduct the research and analyze the statistics. And the conclusion held by the vast majority of prominent and credible medical associations is that gender-affirming care is life-saving health care. I think it's important to note that Musk has 13 children, and of the 13, one of them is transgender. Her name is Vivian Jenna Wilson, and Musk has said that she is dead and was killed by the woke mind virus, while dead naming and misgendering her all the while. And it's no